Hi guys, good morning. I hope you had a great week. Let's do the weekly analysis for Eurodollar, gold, and NAS100. So we'll start with the Eurodollar. Let's look at the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, what have we seen? We've seen that price had swept the liquidity on the upside and it had given a bearish break of structure on the weekly time frame. Now this bearish break of structure had left behind a fair value gap on the weekly time frame, which is the WFVG, and we've seen that price beautifully respected it, mitigated the inverse fair value gap, and then it has again given a bearish momentum. So where are the liquidity areas where price could be hunting towards? There is this weekly sell side liquidity, which is right here, a swing point. Another one is right here. So most likely in the coming weeks, we can assume price would be moving towards these weekly sell side liquidities. And also there is a huge fair value gap down below. In the coming few weeks or months, we can see that this weekly fair value gap could be the drawn liquidity. Now let's go and check out the H4 time frame. On H4 time frame, what we had seen that price had, if you remember last week's outlook, I told that don't trust this edge for break of structure because this break of structure was to mitigate the weekly fair value gap. And if you remember, we had quite nice short trades on euro dollar in this week, given we knew this weekly outlook. Now what's going on? Now we have the actual break of structure on H4, which we can trust given it has come off the weekly fair value gap. Now, where are the H4 FVGs? We have these two huge H4 FVGs, which have been delivered as a part of the non-farm payrolls on Friday. Are there any other H4 FVGs? No. Now, let's just mark the premium and discount theory. If you look at it, this particular area could be our point of interest to trade from for short trades. This is the POI on the discount area. Let's just mark it as another H4 FVG so that we know. Now, what should be our game plan? Don't rush for the week to start. If there is an H4 internal change in structure, then we might look for longs. And in case price directly comes to this area or maybe liquidates all of these equal lows or whatever, after the premium area is reached, we might look for short entries. So this is the simple game plan for Eurodollar. Clean structure, clean delivery. Now let's go and check out gold. Gold had a nice sell-off in the last week. This is the weekly swing structure. This is the weekly internal. This was the internal low, which is still being respected. It had been swept once, but it is still being respected. So I wouldn't count this as a break of structure. There was this weekly fair value gap, which price had mitigated a few weeks ago, and it had given a bullish momentum, but it seems to be fading off. So now we don't know whether this gold would go down or go up. What we can know for sure right now is that price had respected this but has failed to commit to a new high. This could possibly mean that we might see in future lower prices on gold, because if you look at the monthly chart of gold, look what has happened in gold since October 2023. It ran up by 246%. So of course there would be certain corrections. There are these monthly fair value gaps where we can assume price would come in the near future, but that's none of our business. Let's check the weekly time frame. Currently it is holding up. Now let's look at the H4 time frame. On H4 time frame, price has given another bearish break of structure. So our immediate order flow, we know, irrespective of whatever happens on the weekly time frame or monthly time frame, our immediate order flow is indeed bearish. There are these fair value gaps which price had left behind, H4 FVG, where we can potentially look for shorting. Let me check. Yes, there's one more unmitigated fair value gap which I really like, which is right here. And this also sits above a internal buy side liquidity, which is right here. This is the internal buy side liquidity. What is the external buy side liquidity? External buy side liquidity is this H4 high. So this is what gold looks like. Let me check if there are any other fair value gaps. No, none of them. All are beautifully mitigated. So gold looks to be bearish in the coming future. What we can do is let's plot the premium and discount area. This is the premium area. So we can also mark this internal buy side liquidity. Now the most ideal dream shot would be let gold go up, take out this internal buy side liquidity, mitigate this H4 fair value gap where we can go with a more confident risk on the trade to target the lows. In a scenario where on Monday or Tuesday, if price shows a bullish break of structure, then we can assume to take longs until we arrive at the premium zone. So this is the game plan for gold. I would uh, I would personally wait for Monday and Tuesday to either price to reach here or to do a internal breakout structure for longs. Now let's go and check out NAS100 on the weekly time frame. NAS100 on the weekly time frame is extremely bullish on from a swing perspective. We have these chunk of uh, fair value gaps which we haven't yet mitigated, and you would have seen there was a panic on the stock market on Friday, and people are saying things are crashing, but things are not crashing. Things are just doing what things are supposed to do. They're just coming to mitigate the weekly fair value gap. So this is the weekly um, swing structure is bearish on the internal side. From structural level, we haven't broken down, but from a CSID level, we have actually converted bearish. Now, what we can assume is price would come, mitigate this weekly fair value gap, and then give us a break of structure on the upside. And then we can again target these highs from a weekly time frame. So let's check out how H4 looks like. Okay. So H4, the structure is definitely bearish. It broke down here and it had a huge sell off, right? This was the last bearish that we saw. And then after that, it was a huge sell off. Now, what do I want to see in the next week to build a trade idea is I want price to penetrate deep into the weekly fair value gap and give me an edge for shift of structure to start going for longs. I'm not interested in shorting so close to a weekly fair value gap unless price randomly, reverses right from here and gives me an opportunity to short somewhere here, then I'll see, but that looks more unlikely. So this is the weekly H4 analysis for NAS100. I hope this analysis was helpful for you. We have three pairs: euro dollar for short, gold for short, and NAS100 for a potential long opportunity in the coming week. I wish you a wonderful week ahead. Let me know in case you have any questions or comments in the comment section below. Take care and have a nice day. Bye.